Here we are tonight at the Bearcat Coaches Show, first installment of the 2019 season. I'm here with Coach Piggott. We're going to discuss the upcoming season of the football, and we'll talk about the past Christian game. Coach, first I was going to say, I know you're trying to change the culture here in Long Beach. It's been a long time since we've been in the playoffs and, one of the things like that. I know I've been here for 20 years, and I don't remember too many playoff games, but in my eyes, I think you're in the toughest district in 5A, if not the state, with Hattiesburg and Picayune, and now East Central comes in. I know your job's getting harder every year.
Yes,
but what do you think about your team this year, or tell me some of the things that you're doing to prepare for the season?
Right. We as a coaching staff and really as a team, I think we were really encouraged leaving the field Friday. We played well. We were breaking in a new quarterback there, and heck, he was 61% on the night. We threw the ball several times. I think it was 230 some odd passing yards. I mean, those are great numbers. He gets some of those drops or catches, he might break 300 yards passing, and 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. The 1 interception, we had kind of a special play on, had Gervais Foxworth with a shot. We thought, from film study, we were going to get him singled up and try to go over the top. And, I think he just got excited wanting to get that touchdown and maybe force one in. But that's things that happen, when you're playing and you're excited and you're being a competitor. So would he like that one back? Probably. But, at the end of the day, I don't ever want to stop a young man from trying to make a play.
I would think on the first varsity start that's an exceptional job.
Absolutely.
I think if we asked you before the game if he could come out throwing 60%, I think you'd be pretty happy with those.
Real happy, very happy
for the first time. That brings me to another thing. I was wondering how many players do you have on both sides that are maybe seeing their first varsity action? I know that's got to be a little nerves are going to be going. As the season goes, they should be a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, I can't give you the exact count, but it's several. We last year we felt like we were young as a football team. We broke in some young guys last year, but you look at the offensive line. I mean, you got Andrew McMillan returning as a starter on the O-line, and I think he might be the only one, that truly returned. Jace Neal's back, but Jace Neal moved to defensive line this year, and he was a starting right guard for us last year. So you're talking about a completely retooled O-line, and to me, they blocked phenomenal. They had. We told them at the end of the day that was one of the better O-line performances I'd seen. Looking at last season to this year, and even the team broke. We're talking as a football team, and the entire team gave them a round of applause. I think that's strong and shows you, the camaraderie and how proud they were in it. And matter of fact, defensive lineman Jace Neal makes a comment. He said, "Coach, the O-line was the rock of the team." He said, when it got tough in the night, they stuck together and were positive with it. And you can build on that. And that's 5 guys having to work together for the first time ever versus a very good opponent. And guys had several. He had time to throw it, and we can create some things there.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think he had 4 sacks on the night, which isn't bad for. And like you said, the first game. There's only an upway from there. So it's going to get a lot better.
Well, we find out, that their game plan was to blitz us. I mean, you look at most of the night, they're bringing 5 and 6 guys at the quarterback, and only let 40 throws on the night, and they get through 4 times when they're bringing blitzes every time. That's not a bad night. So.
And then the defensive line, I think they only had 50, 60 yards rushing. That's a pretty good night by that end.
Yeah.
So I think going forward, you got Johnny Pham. I thought he looked better catching the ball.
Definitely.
I think he was a little nervous running the ball at the beginning, being new on the backfield, but I think that's going to improve as well.
Oh, yeah. Yes, indeed.
So overall, what do you think your grade for the past week was?
I'd say it was a B performance. I think when you look at the X and O side of it, it was there. I liked our game plan on offense. I thought it put the ball in. I mean, how many kids touched the football on offense? I mean, that's a phenomenal job by the new offense coordinator to spread the wealth. That makes it hard to game plan on defense. Geis was comfortable in there making plays, and I think so that was good. Now, first game jitters, we had several penalties. So I mean, we'd get something going, and then here it comes coming back, from penalty yards, and that was probably, the thing where I think we needed a lot of, and you're gonna have a lot of penalties week 1. You're gonna have kids missing assignments. You're going to have kids playing with emotion and, maybe playing too hard, playing after the whistle sometimes there. And that's what got us, and that was the lessons to learn from it. You look at defensively, we shut the run completely down. I told talking to the past Christian head coach, he said, Coach, man, you took away our run. We couldn't throw the bubbles out on the edge. I mean, it wasn't there. You bottle them up and then you force them to throw the deep ball, which is the game plan. You want them to get into situations where they got to make low percentage plays. Well, the issue that comes up is, we got assignments where we're calling a blitz, bringing 5 people and only 3 kids rush. And you got a senior quarterback who's played a lot of football for Paz Christian, and you leave him back there patting the ball, and
someone's going to get open.
Somebody's going to get open at some point, and and there's times where our defensive backs find themselves stopping their feet because they think the play is over, and you got to cover till the whistle, So we eliminate those big plays, and hats off to Paz Christian. I mean, if you let them have an inch, they can hurt you, and they did. I mean, that was the thing. It's we miss a couple assignments from the simple fact of we're fatigued and we don't get the call or we don't communicate, and so we don't get the call, and then they were good enough to make us hurt for it. So credit to them.
Yeah, I think the penalties will get better. I mean, it's hard to simulate that in practice.
Oh, yeah.
Jumping, you're not going to have fake snaps usually.
Absolutely.
So that's going to, I think it'll all come out. To talk about some of the things you did, Geis had 23 for 38, 230, 2 touchdowns.
Absolutely.
He had the 1 forced interception, which being young, I thought that was great.
Yeah.
6 different receivers touched the ball. He had a few drops. A couple people had a couple drops, and he had the 1 fumble, the lateral.
Right.
Which, I think that you can't really fold that on him. I thought, offensively, he had a big day from Delijah.
Yeah.
70 yards rushing,
Unreal.
70 yards receiving. He had a 57-yard touchdown pass.
Yeah.
Seems like he did it all. Cramps late.
Yeah.
So something that I'll talk about later on. That was good. The Cooks. Like I said, I thought the offense, guys did a good job spreading the ball, and they did very well.
Yes,
what about defensively? I know you had a couple good. D. Allen King play real good.
Right.
I think.
D. Allen. We had a plan for D. Allen. It's rare that you have an inside linebacker that can run as well as he can run. And Gabe Smith as well, and Marcus Duncan. Those 3 were the guys that rolled in the inside, and they are fast and they can read the defense. And the years that I've been very successful on defense, my inside backers have been able to play fast. And these are guys that, man, they're keying guards, and those guards get, they've got my guard does this, I do this, and there's several situations that can happen within each call, and they were plugging fitting their gaps all night long and fast, and I think it really gave us a shot. And D. Allen, of course, he shines in the pass defense. What we're doing is we're baiting that throw to the number 3 receiver. They're getting in trips, and we're making them think he's open because nobody's looking for an inside linebacker to be covering him.
Right.
And so his job is he gets an initial guard key for pass. As soon as he gets that key, he's cutting out to number 3, and he can cut out to 3 as good as anybody I've coached. And that's what happened. That quarterback never saw him.
Yeah.
He thinks the kid's wide open. Next thing you know, we're
and to do that against a senior quarterback,
absolutely.
And that's also when you get into that, when you do those type of stunts, or that other guys have to play position defense.
Definitely.
Gabe Smith and the other guys got to be right. If they're not right, then it doesn't really work.
Absolutely.
Which I thought was good. Good young players coming in. Okay, what about the cramps? Or just the heat in general? I know, with the 105 out there, I'm out there with you on 4th block. I know how bad it is.
I thought I was going to cramp.
I'm sure I would have been, but you do anything different preparation-wise,
practice-wise? We've stuck to the kind of same game plan pregame as we had last year. Cramps were never really an issue at all last year, and we did the same thing, and we educate these young men on hydration, what we have them walking around with water bottles all the way from Wednesday during the week on, and we say if we don't see them with the water bottles during school, here's the thing, it's, I know I've talked to a lot of people on cramping, and there's some different science out there. I think, stress can tense those muscles up. You got a first game jitters. It's a tight first game. It's a long one. It's hard to simulate that long of a game when you're coming out, I mean, heck, they've run and worked as hard in summer as anybody else. Those cramps, man, it was a lot.
Being a coach myself, it's hard to get 2.5 hours of intense practice out of them, when it's practice. So that game is definitely something that, especially guys you got going both ways.
Right, yeah.
Which you do have a lot of. So I think that would be all right. To go on, I think you mentioned pretty much everything I wanted. Defense played really good. A couple big plays that they had in the passing game. Yeah. Penalties, I don't want to bring up the penalties, but lopsided at best. Yeah. Let's just leave it at that. Yeah. A couple fumbles that hurt.
Said on that.
Yeah. Without going into anything more.
Right.
But I thought the kids played hard throughout the game. I think they could have laid down probably late in the first half. They got the big fumble.
Right.
That was huge.
Right.
They go back. The offense goes and puts it in. I mean, at that point, they don't make that play or they don't stand up. It could have been a long night.
Oh yeah.
Going into half, you get a little bit of momentum. They come out inspired.
Yes, sir.
Which. For the first game, that's good. It's a good way to start off. All right, let's. This is something I have late in the game. I mean, I don't want to say, and I'm talking about more in the stands than I do on your field.
Sure, yeah.
You hear the excuses.
Yeah.
The referee's this, the referee, and I don't know how we can prevent that, but I mean, it seems to be. It starts in the stands and then it ends up on the field. Then all of a sudden the kids get a chance to use it. I don't like it when it happens.
Right.
And because I'd rather see them say, "Look, we're going to overcome, make the play, and see what happens." And I just hate for that to happen because the kids do play so hard.
Well, I talk to the kids, and there's some calls there that were heated calls, and the thing we've got to do as a coaching staff, we got to do it as a fan base, we got to do it as players, we got to do it as a community. We've got to be able to put those things behind us. They're going to happen. I mean, it's referees' first game as well. There's a lot of things you got to watch within a game. I've never been a referee. I can't imagine. I mean, their job is immense pressure, and they're doing the best they can, and they want the best for these kids, and they want the player safety, and we've got to. We don't get. It's like in life, we teach them, man, something doesn't go your way, we can't throw our hands up and get down in a funk. We got to, it's like we talk about, hey, be 1-0 every week. Well, we got to be 1-0 every play. Something bad happens on this play, we got to be on the next play. Yeah. And you start letting a penalty call get to you, and then now it affects how you play the next, drive or series, and you can't do that. You gotta have a short memory and move on, and trust that the people calling the game are doing the best that they can, and
they're human.
Exactly. And I try as a head coach, to not let the kids see me get too flustered. Sometimes I'm not perfect with that, but
you don't have to tell me, Coach.
But I try to not let them see me up in arms, even though maybe in my head I am at times. But we got to move on because we can't change it. It got called. We got to move on, and here's the thing: we got the film, and we'll talk it over with the referees after the game, and send the film in, and everybody learns from it. We learn from our mistakes, and that's it. I think they called the game fair. It was lopsided, but I think at times we let our emotions get to us, and as coaches and as players, we gotta keep going.
I read something about one of the college coaches said the other day, and I thought it was awesome. It says no one ever loses. You either win or you learn.
Right.
Losses is the learning process.
Exactly.
You still benefit from it one way or the other.
Absolutely.
The other thing that I was saying, and I think you said the same thing, is I'd like them to analyze the game at the end.
Right.
Don't analyze it in the middle.
Right.
Oh, that game happened,
Right.
then they start to go back and they don't get what they need.
Definitely.
If they won the ride home, then you can analyze what you
Right.
did or what,
Exactly.
instead of keep your head in the game, see what
Right.
happens. Things can change.
Yes, sir.
All right, Coach, here I got to ask these two questions, and this is probably coming from everybody out there. And I had talked to Coach Brady today, and he gave me some insight. Not everybody has that luxury to talk to him during the days, so I was going to ask you a couple questions. Going for 2, down 14.
Yeah.
Let me know what's up.
So, without getting into too many details, we had to break in. Our kicker joined our football team this week.
Okay. Stuff I didn't even know.
Yeah. So, we got him broke in and practiced, and we put him in a heck of a situation, and he answered the bell. I was very proud of him. He had missed a few field goals prior to that when that we thought were some smaller field goals and things, and we come out. We actually called for the field goal. We run out and we got 10 on the field. We're missing a blocker, and so we got to burn the time out there. And, I'm thinking in my head, all right, we're a little bit rattled. We don't have a kid. We're missing a kid running out on the field, which, I told the kids, I said, that's unacceptable. We work special team substitutions every single day in practice. We work sudden change every single day in practice. We work it more than anybody can work it. And that's, again, harnessing emotions. And I'll get into that with the question I already know is coming on that one. But, when sudden change happens, we can't, especially when we got guys playing two ways.
Right.
We come off the field, and it's a big play, and we're celebrating, but we're trying to get on, for something else, and we're missing a guy. And that's something that we've got to learn how to. Hey, coach is calling for PAT field goal. We got to get out on the field. Well, that happened, and like I said, I had that moment of clarity when we had to burn the timeout. I said, hey, the kids missed a little bit, and talking with them, maybe didn't feel the confidence in him, and heck,
had a quarterback rolling, playing pretty good.
We liked the Wildcat package we were in with Elijah, especially in short yardage there. So we felt like, hey, they can't stop it. They weren't adjusting. We didn't feel like, so hey, let's punch this two in. We're playing for the win. I'd rather be answering questions about why I'm going for aggressive things than not aggressive things.
And that's why I always say, we see them every day of practice,
right.
5 days a week, and you got a little different understanding than just people out there for the very first time and say, well, why is he doing that?
Oh, yeah.
There's usually some inside story that they don't know about.
Right,
and
exactly.
They won't come and ask you. They'll just talk about you behind your back.
That's why we're doing this show. There you go.
All right, and then same situation. Like I said, I talked to Coach Brady, who is the offensive coordinator, and we got a chance. The first and goal, which I did think you scored on the first one. We had talked, and they said the kids were thinking we were in. That's that emotion again. Getting yourself off the kilter. And then when it doesn't go in, you're running down there. Kobe Cook got close to the goal line.
Right.
But then you're at first and goal and shotgun.
Right.
And you could explain. He explained it to me, and I understood it.
Something that, and I've had to learn this being a defensive guy. You're kind of in football. You're either really a shotgun team or you're an under center team. It's tough to go from one to the other. We did go a heavy package there. The issue more for me was the substitution there. If I could go back right there,
Elijah had the cramp.
Elijah has a cramp, but before that, we make the interception, and we've got some guys going both ways. And we run off the field and we're partying on the sideline, which you don't ever want to calm that down. You want to enjoy that. That's why you play the game. But that sudden change of, now we're on offense and we're calling for heavy personnel, guys that just came off of the defense, and we can't get them because they're celebrating, and it's loud and nobody can hear, and we got the entire coaching staff shouting, and it's just now we actually ended up getting them and getting in, but by the time we run in, we're a little bit rattled, and now we got a quick snap to beat the play clock, and we get the bad snap there, and really wasn't even that bad. It was manageable, but it was enough that it got the ball carrier off of his game, so then we could take a little bit of a loss there. And now I'll tell you this, for all the fans out there, we worked under center goal line 2 days, so it's not happening again. So it's
also easy on a Monday. Being on Monday quarterback, if that play works, you don't ever hear anything about it. It doesn't work, and now everyone wants to know the reason.
The thing is, when you're in that Wildcat package, which we like in a short yardage situation, you want to get, because it's the quarterback carrying the ball, you want to give him time to catch the ball, process the holes he's reading, and make his cuts off of that. So if he's under center, all you really have is the QB sneak if he's the one running it. Which that would have been nice to have that in that moment. But so that's some things that we worked on. We worked on the Wildcat going under center. We worked on the QB going under center. I don't want to tell you too much more because Stanislaus might watch. But we've got it to where, and we have worked. We work every day for 15 minutes. QB, quarterback, center, and running back exchanges from under center. But more so in our minds, we were planning for bad weather games. and things
Right.
like that. So we're working those exchanges. Like I said, if you go that Wildcat, I mean, most Wildcat packages, you almost have to go from that shotgun, or the runner doesn't have time
or
to.
some sort.
Yeah, from a pistol alignment, something, so he can have time to get to see what he wants to do there. But his thing, he was running, he was running all over him. You're thinking that's an easy 6 when you call that package.
True that. Like I said, they score.
Yep.
You'll never hear anything about it.
So, but
anyone could do it after the fact.
Absolutely.
Don't we wish we could change things after the fact? Let me see how that worked out. Let me change that up a little bit, but we don't have that luxury.
Absolutely. Yep.
And like you said, emotions. It's the same with you. You got something that you feel works 99% of the time. I'm rolling with it.
There you go.
If it doesn't work that 1%, I look like a bad guy. But really, give it to me 9 more times,
There you go.
and we'll get this to work.
Yes, indeed.
But you want to take a break here and get yourself something to eat, maybe throw a little film on, and then we'll talk about next week's game.
All right. Sounds good.
Excellent.
Yep.
We'd like to thank Bull's Restaurant in downtown Long Beach for hosting the Bearcat Coaches Show every Tuesday night at 6 o'clock. Bull's Restaurant, downtown Long Beach.
All right, here we are, still back at Bull's Restaurant here in Long Beach. Second half of the show, we're going to watch some film. This is a better view than I had at the game, so I hope you guys enjoy this. Coach will break down a couple of the plays that happened that night.
I'll let it kind of run through, and then we'll kind of talk about it as it goes. Right here, kickoff, get a big-time return to Elijah Robinson. Great effort by everybody. We got that's for the kids, the little notes we'll put in every now and then. But you look at the blocking right here. Set it up, got a nice little wall set up on the left. Everybody's doing their job. Everybody's looking for work. And see, we get a great block there. He finds the crease, and we're off. Big time return right here.
That was early in the game, right?
Yep. All right, right here we go inside zone with the RPO. We got an inside zone to the left. Okay, we got a kick out block coming from the H-back. Right here, Jonathan Ulrich, if I can get my cursor. Right here, he's coming across. Geis is counting numbers out here. Pre-snap, if he likes his number matchup out on the edge, instead of handing it, he's going to throw it. And that's exactly what he has. We get the corner playing way off, and we're going to take the easy yards right here. And got the screen set up. Kobe makes a great play. Here's the secret to the offense. We got, a tremendous amount of skill players. We got to get them the ball in space. You follow that recipe, and you'll be happy more than you're not.
That's the key play is the RPO, run pass option.
Yep.
Just for those that don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, the offense looked good.
Yep.
Coach Brady did a good job out there this week. Made guys comfortable, looks like.
Yep. Here we go again. Got the, we call this play, without giving too much secrets, it's our bulldog play right here. We got Coach Brady's probably going to be mad I'm naming his plays. More commonly known as edit.
We're going to zone in, see our signal on that one.
So we're going to run the bubble slant concept. You see the linebacker for Pass Christian putting him in a bind right here. He's got to pick one. Whichever one he picks, we're going to make him wrong. And so right there, he covers the bubble. So right there's Dalton Cook, I believe, right there through it. And just, easy throws, easy reads. That's the thing. You got a young quarterback. Make him feel confident in his throws. Don't make him see too much. Get him great at a couple of things and give him some early success. And that's exactly what happened. So right here we get in our Wildcat package or Bearcat package if you want. So right here we go to Elijah Robinson, tremendous athlete, get him in at the quarterback position. And the great thing about him is, he used to play quarterback a little bit in middle school, and he can throw it a little bit as we saw on the pass. So right here we run power. What we do right here, you see a shift over the tight end, and there's no adjustment. So now we've got numbers on them on the edge. And we like what we want. We like what we've got right here. We get them pinned on the edge. We got more guys than they do, and we got one of the better athletes on our football team with the ball in his hands. So
if you go back to the first and goal, Elijah would have been the quarterback, but he ended up with a cramp.
Right.
And that put us in a bad situation. So you asked why we did it.
Right.
We have the play if he's in the game. He's going out from, 16 yards here, 14 yards?
Yeah.
We're only going from inches on the other one, so it looks like that's a smart move.
Yeah. You see him not adjusting, I mean, we're going to take, if you're not going to adjust, we're going to take it. And right there, I mean, heck, all you got to do, you got one easy block on the edge and another easy block, and then heck, you count it. You got 1 for 1, 2 for 2, tight ends blocking 3 for 3, H-backs coming around for this cat 4 for 4. Well, we got 2 more coming. So.
Yeah. It's amazing how technical football is, but it breaks down to a numbers game.
Oh, yeah. It's always a numbers game.
Who's got more people, hats and not.
So you get that, we knew we had that early on in the game. Right here, Cameron Matthews, we're coming off the edge right here. He's making that quarterback. What he's doing is he's slow playing this quarterback. We're going to give him a handoff key. He's reading that outside backer. So what we do is we give him false keys with what we teach those guys. And so right here we're attacking him like we're taking the quarterback. You can see Cameron's angle, forcing him to hand it. As soon as he hands it, we're going to crash down on it. Mm-hmm. And there it is.
Looked like the defensive line had a good position in there. I mean,
definitely.
That's just,
You look at, Jaleel Jones is phenomenal. He's small in stature, large in heart, and he can't. I mean, he's tough to block. He gets in there at the nose guard position, slanting in. You see him getting penetration. Jace Neal squeezing it down. Running backs has no option but to cut it back. And there's,
3 white jerseys.
Good defense is when you can see multiple hats to the ball. And that's what you got right there. And you had it all night. So
again, 50 yards rushing.
Yeah. All right, right here we're just running a vertical concept, okay? Dividing the field into 4s. You get a guy on the bottom, a receiver on the bottom of the numbers. We start in trips. We're going to get the receiver from the top of the trips. He's going to get back to this backside hash. So at the end of the route, you should have 2 guys, your outside receivers on the numbers. You should have your slot receivers on both of the hashes. Doesn't matter how you line up pre-snap, but at the end of the 4 verts concept, that's what you want. And what you're doing here is you're just putting stress on this defense, making them cover space. And, Geis is reading the safety right there. He sees Delijah open. Great protection by the offensive line. Andrew McMillan, I mean, I think we're still counting his pancakes, but, he's a dominant factor out there at the left tackle. I mean, you can see right here, Geis has plenty of time to see it. And this is a drop back pass. This is usually when sacks happen. And, I mean, he could be sitting back there, drinking a Coca-Cola or something as much time as he's got to read that field. So.
And if you're from Stanislaus, it's only one of the 5 passes we throw all week.
Yep.
We ran the ball like 40 times. So
no doubt.
You know that.
No doubt. Right here, they get in a little bit of an empty package for us right here. Forcing you to play coverage to empty the 5 receiver set, and there's a tight end. That's the 5th receiver right here. They know that they're going to try to weaken the box. They're having issues running on us. So when you have issues running on a defense, you spread them out to make them have to cover you to weaken the box. Well, we got 5 in the box right here, 6 when the outside backer comes off the edge, and there's nothing they can do with it. You look at Jace Neal to the bottom of our screen right here. He's just bullying. It's right here. We engage in this block right here, and he's bull rushing him right here, and just taking him and throwing him in the backfield. That's phenomenal. Phenomenal effort right here.
Gang tackle.
Gang tackle, numbers to the football. If we can continue to stop the run as we did Friday night, there's a lot of positives coming in a season where, if you're leaving your first game and running defense is a problem, you're worried. When you can stop the run and force teams to be one-sided, you got really positive things coming for you. And, the kids can see it. They were talking about it. Right here we knew that they wanted to work the perimeter. That's one kind of characteristic of spread offenses. We do it as well. They want to try to get out here, numbers in space. Well, this defense is built to get 2 to the ball. Here they go. They throw the bubble. And you saw when we run the similar play, there's only 1 defender down. And we were able to manipulate the 1 defender. Well, now they read us. We got 2 defenders down, and there's nowhere to go with it.
You also see that the defensive backs stay with the receiver until the ball leaves their hand, which is you don't want to get caught on the pump and go.
Yep, exactly.
Discipline.
Great player right there. That's Julius Wells, second-year starter. He was one that started young. Started him as a sophomore. He's a great player, and got a season under his belt, and now he's a veteran out there. So they come with the motion right here, trying to get us out there with their triple option. And this is actually a triple option pass, little trick play. Told the defense on Tuesday, I said, it's coming. We worked it all week. We knew that they liked some trick plays. We watched them in their jamboree run some reverses. And, trick play, we got double coverage on their deep ball. It's that's great stuff. It's great stuff. So I'd like to see this, the backside safety here gets caught up chasing the run, and that's why you can see him right here. He comes up chasing the run a little bit. This cat gets behind him. Want to see that squeeze the field and take him away. But that would have been a throw across that quarterback's body anyway. You don't want to teach that. So right here, the big thing is the double coverage. You got one high and one low of the receiver. And when you're teaching pass defense, that's what you want.
Go get it at the top of the
Go attack the ball high as you can, and you want to create a bracket on that receiver, and that's what you have right here.
You wish that wide receiver threw it across the field.
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't the quarterback, so you want to set that up.
There it is, defending trick plays. That could have been a huge swinging point for them, and defense is disciplined, second year in the schemes, and knows how to use it to their advantage, and you got great plays. So,
like I said, if you take away 3 big plays on them, you would have won with all the flags.
Absolutely.
Yeah, It's kind of
absolutely. Yep.
That's big for, I would say, a young, inexperienced team as far as many people you got playing first time. And I thought they did great. Only going to get better.
Might be here all night with the loading on the video. I forgot about that. So we'll get through it. Yeah, I'm going to try to get to at least show our touchdowns and some things. Right here, kind of same story. Just they want to swing it out there. We're going to have 2 to leverage it. Yeah.
5 white jerseys.
White jerseys flying in the football, always a good sign.
Yeah, I see hustle by the defensive line, too. I see them running out when the ball's in the flat.
Absolutely. And that was a point of interest for, point of emphasis for us was chasing the football. Week 1, that's always usually a big thing is, kids not chasing the football and hey, plays over here, I'm going to take it, I'm going to take a break. And we didn't have that. Very few loafs we call it loafs when they, we catch them walking on the field in the middle of a play. And
I call it brain farts.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
I kind of forget where they are.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And then you see them cut back, and then they start to run. It's like, too late now, buddy.
Yep. Skipping a few plays just to make sure it gets loaded. All right, so right here again, got the run pass option. You can see he's got down here on the goal line, all they need is an inch. We got inside leverage out of Dalton Cook. He had a great night. Geis has to fit it in a tight window. He does. Does a good job getting the ball out of the pocket of the running back and getting his arm up and getting it out of his hand on time. And, he's got, you look at it, if he's a second late with that, you got problems.
It's good body positioning for Dalton.
Absolutely.
In between.
Absolutely.
Kind of tough to go over his back.
Good stuff. See, you look at it and looks like a veteran quarterback at times, and he's only going to get better.
And I would think everybody thought that was an area that we didn't know about.
Right.
You didn't hear anything about him, and all of a sudden I thought he played great.
If we can get it to load big time, game plan from our offensive staff, and the kids were on board with it too. Like I said, we were gonna kind of shorten the field. We were gonna make quick throws and build that confidence and get the ball in space. And here it is again. They want to be aggressive and they want to come after us. Well, we're gonna throw some screens. And here it is. You see the lineman doing a great job getting downfield. Okay, Wes Borland shedding right there, finding work downfield, getting a key block right there to spring him. That we try to teach them. You just never know when your block matters. And you look right here. What if he takes this play off? What if he doesn't? I don't find any work. Nobody immediately shows. Well, that just that little bit he gets on this kid, makes that. That's a tackle at the 40-yard line, and we don't get the first down to, here we go. 10 extra yards.
4 new downs.
All off of effort, finishing a play.
And sometimes you don't even have to touch them.
Right.
As long as you're in between them and the runner is enough, but it's hustle that takes that.
Yeah.
Don't take a play off.
Great stuff there. Jace Neal, again. Or no, that's Andrew McMillan. Playing guys both ways. We lose Jaron Evans early in the game. I think a little bit, a little shoulder injury, I want to say. That kind of threw us for a loop on the defensive line, but we were prepared for it. We told these guys, we said, hey, if we got to play both ways, we got to be ready this year. Everybody on the team has learned a second position. We work it all the time, and we say, look, we might be small in numbers, but we can't miss a beat. If somebody goes down, next man in, and you might just have to be tired that night. And part
Take
of that
advantage of your opportunities too.
Yeah,
earn a spot.
Here's Andrew, South Alabama commit, great football player, and he loves it. He always has to block these guys. Now you cut him loose, and he gets to be one.
Revenge, yeah.
He gets his little revenge on defense, and
probably still learning the position a little bit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
With the body he's got, he could be.
Oh yeah.
Again, you got some wide bodies in there.
Oh yeah. I might take him from Coach Brady, make a full-time D lineman, and make him.
Brady's not on camera shaking his head like that ain't gonna happen.
But just the effort out of the running backs, guys finishing plays, and this comes back to this stuff starts right here in January. Johnny Pham, our running back, is one of the most dedicated, committed kids in the weight room. This guy, his legs are tree trunks, and you see him right here. Self-made kid. Right here, we get the inside zone. He reads the hole, phenomenal. Finds it in the A gap, and then now here it is, and I believe he and this linebacker know each other well, and that's some bragging rights right there.
If you go from the beginning of the game to the end of the game, you can see the improvement in Johnny. The more comfort.
Absolutely.
That first handoff, he looked a little nervous, and I saw you threw some in the flat, and he got into it.
Gets it rolling.
Because he's strong as a house. That's a stock.
Absolutely.
Stock body right there.
That if you can be finishing run, that's punishing running right there.
He can't be more than what, 5'5"?
No,
he's using he's a house.
Yeah. About 5'5", maybe he's 170 or so, but it's all muscle. I can promise you that. So running hard,
and that's all you can ask, right? 100% effort.
Definitely.
That's it. So there's some good things. Well, we got Stanislaus coming up next. I didn't hate to get too far into it, Coach.
Yeah.
I know they had a big win, but I've never even heard of the team they played. St. Joseph Catholic School or something like that. So you can't really read too much from that.
Right.
So what do you think? Without giving out too many secrets,
Stanislaus, they're a phenomenal opponent. It's they're well coached. They're as well coached as anybody will play. We had a chance to 7-on-7 them this summer, and we saw what they have at the receiver position. Quarterback can sling the ball around, and they know what they're doing. They're not going to beat themselves, and it's an opportunity for us to go out and show the best Long Beach we can be. We played very well at Pass Christian. We didn't finish the job. We beat ourselves at times with the penalties. First game jitters, what have you. But it's an opportunity for us to get this thing rolling on the right, the right direction, and we really like our chances, and we like where we're at as a football team, and kids have practiced hard this week. Today was a very long one, getting after it. It's hot, but the thing we've been blessed with this week, last week we battled weather. It was rain out day after rain out day, and contingency plans for how to get practice in and still keeping your focus. And this week, knock on wood, we've had 2 straight practices where perfect weather, and got out there and got the work in, and we like our chance.
And being a teacher, you get the feel of the kids in that there was no hanging their heads or anything.
No,
they figured, they knew they had a couple instances where they could have done better,
Right.
And I think they know they shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
And it's almost like you teach them it's not the other opponent, it's yourself. You're perfect.
Right.
You really can't do much about it. You don't get to offsides or things like that. Again, hard to stimulate in practice.
Exactly.
The first game, you see it in college and in the pros.
Definitely.
You get the same stuff.
Well, you look at it, we as a coaching staff, we have things we wish we'd have done better. We as players, we have some things You know, but here's the thing: after week 1, you know what they are now. You know who, when the lights came on, didn't play the way we had hoped it played. You know who you can count on, who you can't. You know what? Hey, we need to grow in this area, and so really, like I said, just really excited. I mean, I think it's. And I sent a text out to the players, to the team this weekend after I watched the film. Maybe we came down on them a little hard at the end of the game, emotions there, but they were upset with themselves. We were upset as a coaching staff with ourselves and the overall performance. But you turn the film on, and we're one or two small things there that's all fixable stuff, and things you expect to have as mistakes out of week 1. It's just you hope you have less of them than the other opponent, and you come on the right side of it. But we didn't.
Like I said, you had a lot of guys playing in the varsity for the very first time. I mean, they could say they're not nervous, but they are.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's those big lights. You don't imagine how big it is for them.
Definitely.
It's those big lights, and their time to shine. And
Definitely.
They're going to get more comfortable and play. Like I said, I saw a lot of improvement in the game.
Right.
Johnny Pham was one. I thought the defensive line did really well, and some of those young guys we had in there.
Right.
I wouldn't expect anything up from them.
Yes, sir.
That doesn't mean anything may, as far as score.
Right.
The way you play would be better.
Oh yeah.
But the way it goes from there is, you never know.
Right.
Like what did Nick Saban say? It's the Johnnies and the Joes, not the X's and the O's. Sometimes it's about who you got where, but you guys look like you fight. And I like when you win because it's better at school.
Oh, yeah.
The kids are a lot happier at school. It's really better when you win. I mean, even if they play good.
Oh, yeah. Our guys, we put so much work in, and we're right there. We know we're right there. It's we got to punch it over that finish line. We've got to get this thing on the right track, and it is. But now we need the wins for the validation.
Yeah, you need that one win to get you started. So they believe in themselves a little bit more.
And that was the speech. That was the speech pregame, and I've revisited again this week. Is believing. We've got to believe. You get around great football teams, and when they're down 21, 28 points. They might be the only ones at the game that believe, but they believe to their fullest that, hey, we're still in it and we're still going to make the plays, and they're patient with it and they're not panicking, and that's where we've got to get as a team, that when adversity hits, it's not, oh, here we go again. It's, man, we've got it, we're okay, and it's going to take, the coaching staff being confident with them and being positive and say, hey guys, let's go, we'll get them next play. It's going to take senior leadership, which we have, great senior leadership. We really like where we're at there, and but it's got, seniors, it was their first time being a senior. It's their first time
being a leader,
being the guy that has to make the, say the things in the key moments to the team that gets them upbeat. And we're getting there, but we've still got a ways to go. Always, I think we always got to be getting better, but we got to finish the job and get that W, and then I think you'll start really seeing a true change, in that behavior, and then in that just belief in themselves, I guess.
And crazy things do happen. Trust me, I made a couple bets at the Island View that turned around quick on me. You know what I mean? So it's possible.
Yes, indeed. Yep.
But anyway, Coach, I think that was great. We'll be back next week. We're here at Bulls again. So Damon County next week.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Come and ask her, see what's up.
Yep, come see us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Coach.
Yes, sir.